Oh. Funny.
Yeah, exactly, Sanya. It's no question, just sharing this exquisite moment together. Mm. Mm.
You know what's interesting? It's like somehow in these meetings I don't think we ever talk about enlightenment, or it's just not something that comes up even. I mean, for me, it's that whole idea of enlightenment, that there's someone that gets enlightenment, is it's kind of,
Mm-hmm.
for me, it's just about meeting the moment as the beloved, and that will be busy with the last breath. You know? It's never something that you you get to say, okay, now that's it. It's,
Yes, yes,
yeah.
it's yeah. But you see, when we talk about enlightenment, the feeling really, the feeling really is that there is so much light there. Maybe
There's so much
because
light,
of
but in,
yeah,
yeah, it's not an end state or something
no,
like that, like something that's accomplished or achieved, or someone that got enlightened. That's always, to me, seems.
yeah, yeah, that's true. If there is someone that can get enlightened, that actually brings away from the split of, it brings into it goes into duality then, and
Yeah.
I could see each time when the focus of duality was whoosh, just
Yeah.
got away. It was like even more. I mean, it's like a full body embracement of being complete light, but it's of course it's much more than that. It just doesn't end here, but yeah.
I know that in some spiritual circles, there's this idea that you reach something that gets called enlightenment or something like that, but it's never been interesting to me. It's always seemed like such a false premise, so to speak, and it's just like there's just this love affair. And within that, there's always endless revealing of funny patterns that have troubled man, womankind forever, and you get to see them and refine and be available for them to come to peace. That's all.
Yes, and that's very wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's moment by moment by moment.
Papaji used to like sometimes talk about like he'd only met like 4 people or something who'd reached the final state, and it drove everybody crazy because people were what are you talking about?
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Rishi.
Hello.
Hi.
I was wondering about what you said about Papaji. I had heard some things also before in the context I was in. What did Papaji meant with that?
I have no idea. You know, I think if I have to give my impression, I would say that it was like a funny way of inviting people to never stop, never settle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's, you know, that's an interpretation. I have no idea. But yeah. I mean, because as far as I can see, you know, it's like this love affair has no beginning or end. And it's certainly not limited.
Mm.
So an invitation to effortless exploring. How do you invite that? You know, it's like from the mind, we could say mind's perspective, but for me, I don't even believe in a mind. There's no, you know, no thought, no mind. From the perspective of thought, it's like something to reach, but on the other hand, you know, anything that you can achieve, you can lose. So it can't be about achievement. It just can't be there. It can only be a moment by moment love affair, as far as I can see. I mean, you know, who knows? Maybe I'll change my mind tomorrow. All I know is I love exploring moment by moment. That's it. You know. So far, I haven't found an end. It just keeps building. But yet I hear people talking about a certain date or such and such a date. I got enlightened and so on. Oh, geez. Okay.
Yeah, I was remembering that you mentioned during the retreat that when you saw Papaji the last time, you saw that he had deepened so much. And he said, of course, otherwise it wouldn't be
Otherwise, it
infinite.
would be limited. Otherwise, it would be limited. Yeah.
It would be limited, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's such a funny paradox because it really it's more of a heart understanding than actually a reasoning, because on one side I think something in us can grasp that there's something unending in it, and it kind of gets more sweet. But on another aspect, every now that we check in, or at least like every time I check in, it's untouched, is it's not changing, it's not deepening, it's not it's more that the idea or the thoughts that I take to be myself that are appearing in it, they lose their significance.
That's one way to speak, but there's another aspect, which is like this moment is a sensation.
Yeah.
And in most of us, we've been conditioned about the quality of attention that we bring to the moment. So, you know, when I talk about meeting the moment as a beloved, there's a way, like, I mean, when you read Rumi or Hafiz and you hear that ecstatic dance, there's absolutely deepening.
Yeah.
Because of the you know, the subtleties of where experience has been objectified, or like we're seeing through a familiar filter or something like that. Those, like, that really does shift the depth of, in my view anyway. It's like,
Yes. What I can see for myself is that the quality of experiencing changes a lot.
yes. And that's all we have, actually. We hear about like seeing God everywhere and in everything, in every moment. And what gets in the way of it? I would say just habits of attention, actually.
And yet it's not by effort that these habits they are broken down. It's more like some love pulls your attention away from whatever is going on, and these things are hard to speak about because it's
Yeah,
not
I mean,
quite
we can say who you are, you've always been. You've never been other than that. And you can have a recognition, okay, I'm that, in which everything appears. And then the way life lives itself is through all the habits of attention and all the conditioning and all that stuff. And if I look who's doing that, I can never find anyone. All I can find is their habits doing themselves or automatic and unconscious. Nobody's doing them. But because they're so familiar, they escape our attention and they just play in the background, so to speak, and life looks through those filters. Subtly, or they seem to start dropping away.
feels like the first the first shape in a way, or the very first thing that shows up on awareness is perception, and in that is as close as it can I could get to a me. The perception, it's like the first thing that I could ever acknowledge as, you know, like it happens in the shift between deep sleep, and then it's the first thing that appears with, and that thing is changing, that perception,
Absolutely,
or yeah.
absolutely, for sure. Because like I've tried to describe that. It's like we perceive this moment through the senses, so it's a sensation, but almost always the sensations are interpreted through conditioning and trauma.
Yeah.
And that's perception. It's interpretation. And it's like it's a habit. It's a, it's a, and it's so close in and it's so familiar that it's very rare that it gets noticed. But yet somehow when we hang out and it starts to thin out and suddenly it doesn't seem to be boundaries anymore, and it seems like there's just love flowing everywhere, and it starts to get uh, flow and beauty, and then I'm not sure there's an end to that. Actually, it's just because it's
in the at this moment, all I can see is that it doesn't seem to have an end. It's like layers and layers being left behind of, and it's sweet. It's not like something that's being done by effort. It's more like every time a layer is left behind, there's joy and some sweetness to it. But there's also not in this moment an idea of, once all the layers are being left behind or something like this. It doesn't feel like that.
yeah,
It doesn't feel like there it's
you know
possible.
that's it's like this, because you often hear being spoke of surrendering, and surrendering can be heard through the filter of it. There's someone that surrenders, or there can be just something relaxes and the sense of someone disappears. It's like, so it's that surrendering is not really a doing, it's just like some use of energy that took energy, let's say, falls away.
It's like it feels like a baby falling asleep. It's gentle, soft, it's innocent. And thank you, Isaac.
a trend. Hi. You're still muted, so the little red button.
Ah.
Cool. Now I hear you.
Beautiful to be here.
Yeah.
It's it came to my mind right this morning here, like the attention is like a bird. When does it fly, and why? And there's no, it just moves from, like, sometimes it gets stuck in the jungle of the mind, or strong emotions. It's a different reality then.
And it appears stuck. In truth, it
And
isn't
it
stuck.
appears,
Yeah.
Why does it? It feels like an unspoken invitation, or like these meetings. Like it feels it's an invitation to just fly up a little bit and sit on a branch and yeah. It's a mystery how it how it moves. Ah. And it's somehow it's beautiful to be seen. Andrea was hosting in between, and then I had a side look in between, and it was like I just I'm not really there somehow. It's now I'm visible. Thank you.
Yeah, makes it true.
Mm. Mm.
Ah, Tyler.
Hello,
Hey, Tyler.
Isaac. I just wanted to speak on how sometimes I will see people like in the meeting and you, and I would get scared. So I want to separate myself in a way, but I was just wondering, would you be able to speak on separateness and if there's anything to do about it?
With pleasure. So let's look together at something. You know, the way we speak is I got scared. And so another way of speaking is fear came up in me. Just looking at, is there a difference between those two ways of talking about it? And if so, what is the difference?
Well, one way, like you described, it just feels like more just within me, and the other way feels like outside of me.
So we hear, and then we notice something that we call fear. And one way of speaking of it is we say, I'm scared. Or there's a noticing, oh, fear came up. I didn't ask for it. It came out of who knows where. It just came up. So is there a difference between those two ways of speaking about it?
Yes.
Maybe, okay. And maybe it's hard to put it in words, but just try your best and see what you. Like, I guess an example would be like if we're looking up and we say, oh, the sky is cloudy, or we say there's clouds appearing in the sky. So if we use that example, what do the clouds have to do with the sky? They're just passing through, right?
Yeah.
So in your knowing, in your experience, emotions come and go, right? They just pass
Yes.
through. But one of the habits that happens in us is we say, there's identification that happens with it. So we say, I'm scared. And there's also a distinction. We can say, I'm scared, or I feel scared. That's a little bit different. Or fear came up in me. So my feeling is almost everybody has had a moment of feeling fear. You know, it's like fear comes up. I'd say for many people, the habit is like, or I would say running on fear. Their whole system is oriented that way, and they always running. So then the question would become like, if we're used to it, if that's what, you know, like you wake up in the morning and the first thing is, what do I have to do today? What's good, you know, and there's this habit of putting pressure on ourselves, and there's not enough time, and, you know, like such a familiar habit, yeah? But without realizing it, you know, like there's a sense of not enough time, something bad is going to happen if I don't stay on top of things. So it's like pressure, yeah? Constant. And it's a habit. Where do we learn that from? I mean, babies usually aren't like that. But you start going to school and you got homework and deadlines and all that stuff, you know. Our systems get programmed into kind of a certain way of functioning. It becomes a habit of that we don't even realize is going on in the background. Yeah, it just becomes normal. You know, it's and we see everybody kind of in the same, organized in a similar way, and so it's like, wow, what the hell is that? So in the noticing, when there's a noticing, you spoke of, okay, fear can come up. So you're playing and you're starting to make the distinction between how fear comes up in me. I didn't ask for it. It just came by itself. And, at some point it'll leave by itself, or it won't. Or where there's identification with it, which just means it's somewhere, it's like it feels like it means something about me. Are you with me so far?
Yes, I can definitely see that in myself.
Yeah, far out. That's beautiful. So if there's a noticing of fear, it's not there's no how can I say, formula. What I found useful, and maybe other people find useful too, is that if fear's there, is to check and see if there's something real that's dangerous in that moment. Of course, if if there's you step out into the road and there's a car coming straight for you, you want to get out the way. You don't want to say that's not that's not real, yeah. You want to act appropriate to what's happening in life, yeah. So, but a lot of times there's this fear that comes up that's not related particularly to what's going on in the moment. It's either inherited through old trauma or through conditioning. So for me, that's an important distinction, just to really check, is there something here in my immediate environment that's actually life-threatening or dangerous to me? And just checking it. There is or there isn't, yeah. Of course, we don't know. I mean, at any moment there could be a comet or some crazy dictator can push a button and there's an atomic war. Who knows? We don't know, yeah? Ultimately, we don't know. But that, worrying about that shit, man, I would say isn't that useful.
I agree, absolutely.
Yeah. So we hear and so we discern, okay, is there something here that's actually dangerous? If there isn't, then we can ask the question, whatever this is it necessary or useful right now? We can see that it's trying to help us in some way. At some point, it was probably how we survived. But then just checking, is it necessary right now? That's all. No. The moment we try to get rid of it or change it, that's when there's a really strong identification. That's no. When you don't want something, you have it. But if you're curious, okay, what is this? Some came, I don't know where it comes from. I don't know what it's related to even. And I looked, there's no real danger here. Okay, it's old information somewhere laying in. It's not really necessary right now. And then something interesting happens in me when I start playing like that. It's like something in my system starts to chill, starts to just get quiet and get more easy. And it might take, some of the, over this lifetime, there's been some habits that had a lot of momentum, and it took many, many, many times of inquiring like this for it to start to get softer and easier and not trouble as much as it used to, and maybe finally fall away or not. But I don't know if there's another option other than really inquiring. For me, that's what's been useful. I guess everybody's got to find what's useful for them, yeah? I know when we inquire together, it seems like oftentimes people recognize we're all in the same boat. We all have the same stuff going on, maybe to different degrees at different points, but the way it functions in all of us is pretty similar. Which is a relief in a way. It doesn't mean anything about us. An example I like to use is if you're watching TV, you know, that whatever you're watching on TV, whatever movie or series or whatever, it doesn't mean a thing about the TV. It's just appearing on the TV and the TV's untouched, yeah? So we have these habits of attention which really determine our experience, but in a way, that's just like which channel the TV is on. It has nothing to do with the TV, you know. So we've got these habits of habits of attention, you know, that produce a sense of me and a sense of the universe that we inhabit. And in my view, they start to reveal themselves. They start to think, okay, that particular habit has been troubling me. And probably when I look, I can see it troubled my parents too. And if I knew my grandparents, probably them too. So it's inherited. It's not, it doesn't mean anything about me. And then I can start to question, does it really assist? And it's, in my view, it's really useful to have someone that's done a lot of inquiry, that our system can get information from them and get a sense, okay, it's possible to live without that. That can be very helpful, I think, for some anyway.
And patience is probably very important as well with it.
I would say gentleness, real gentleness. Okay, so something's playing, some level of the nervous system believes or has survived from that habit, but it hasn't, we were never invited to check to see if it was useful in this moment. So really, when that inquiry starts happening, it's a game changer. So, you know, when we sit like this, there's the words that we're exchanging, but there's also an energetic exchange. And so when you tune into that energetic exchange at the moment, how do you sense it or feel it or perceive it?
Well, I feel a bit dissociated, but I'm very grateful either way, because I know it's helping me and I could feel that it's helping me. I might not be quite open enough for it though.
No problem, no problem. Look, everything you're saying, you're noticing that your system, you know, what dissociated means is just that your system is touching some information that it hasn't found a way to be present to fully yet. That's all it means. And so for many of us, in our connection with what looks like another human being, it touches old levels of trauma, basically. But that question that I asked you, the way that my system is being with you, you spoke of as being grateful for that. Correct?
Correct.
Yeah. So obviously your system feels there's no bad intention here. There's nothing in me that wants you to be different or is trying to teach you something or trying to get you to be different. It's just, there's a gentle presence, a gentle quality of attention. And your system can relax as much as it can in this moment, in that quality of attention. Without, and if we put any pressure on ourselves to try and relax it, it works backwards. But there's just a natural kind of, when our system feels that there's no agenda whatsoever, nobody wants anything from us, there's just presence, then something can and usually does start to get a little softer. And there's appreciation.
Thank you very much for all of the help, Isaac. I really appreciate it so much, and it was great to talk to you as well.
Yeah, thanks for talking to me. It's fun to explore, you know, especially because, you know, when we in exploration, it's like talking directly to whatever mechanism is playing in that moment. So, you know, when you spoke of not being open, if it's okay to continue just for a few more moments, is that okay?
Yes.
When you spoke of not being open, what you're really speaking about is that something in the nervous system is protecting itself. Now, if it was up to you, whatever you is, it wouldn't be there. So this, do you follow me when I say that?
I would say probably I wouldn't want it to be there if it was up to me.
If it was up to you, exactly. So what it means is that there's something playing automatically and unconsciously, which literally means you're not doing it. It's old information, either conditioning or old trauma that's just doing its thing, trying to protect you, but at a cost, at the sense of not feeling open, etc. But for me, it's not you at all. It's just like, you know, for sure you have that feeling that something not quite open, but it has nothing to do with you. It's just old information. Yeah? Doesn't mean that there's not an interest for it to relax. Of course there is, because it's uncomfortable. But it's nothing that you need to do. It's just, okay, something's playing, I get it. And, yeah. Makes me feel dissociated and a little bit, you know, some sense of separation. And so there's a curiosity. What is it that's playing in the background? You know, I never asked for it. I find myself that it's here. I don't know where the hell it came from. Something's shifting right now. I don't know if you can feel it, but yeah. Can you sense something that's getting softer and getting more open? And you can be honest. You don't have to please me. It's just you either sense it or you don't. It's no problem either way.
Just less separation, but maybe not.
Yeah, no worries. Important that you're just honest with how you sense it and not try to please me. That's yeah. Thanks, Tyler.
Thank you very much, Isaac.
Govinda.
Hello, Isaac.
Hey, Govinda.
Here's a lot of guilt and self-blame happening, believing that I'm the doer. I would like to explore or investigate.
Okay. So I guess the one place to start would be to see what is you? And fresh, even though you might have done that many times. What is you?
If you ask the question, there comes joy and opening, and I can't really answer.
Perfect. You know, a long time ago, someone from a newspaper was interviewing me, and they asked me, "When did you wake up?" And it never occurred to my mind that me wake up, and I'm like, geez, that's backwards in a way. It's like that which is awake has always been awake. The sense of me cannot wake up. It's just a Fata Morgana. It's a mirage. It's like, so I can't say I woke up. It was like, yeah, there's a recognition of that which was awake, that is awake, you could say.
There are thoughts that I have done wrong, acted wrong.
You know, maybe there's been ways of acting that when you look at it now, you can see we're coming from a place of activation or from ignorance or whatever. And, you know, I reckon all of us know that, where, you know, there's been an activation, and the way that activation functioned afterwards, we go, man, that was weird. That was not how I like to function in this life. I say things that later I regret. I act in ways that I can see are not painful to my own heart as well as the people I love. And of course, then there'll be some sense of, oh, wow, sorry, I could say like that. No different than if you stand on someone's foot or something like that. But, you know, it's like, what can we do about it? You know, it's like the only thing is to recognize, okay, yes, sure, you know, that happened in a way, and I can say, I'm sorry, I can't even promise on that it'll never happen again because I never know when the next activation will happen. But I can see it's, wow, that's not how I like to be in this life. It can happen, you know? What can you do?
It also seems to be like a protection mechanism.
Well, to be hard on ourselves and to, you know, like to feel guilty and all that stuff, sure, that's you know, just adds a bunch of layers onto that, seeing, okay, something acted in a way that doesn't feel really in integrity in me. And I was like, of course, but the moment we feel bad about it and start feeling guilty about it and blaming ourselves, it just adds, you know, piles of on top of it that makes it unclear, you could say, very difficult to integrate it. Yeah.
Heavy.
Heavy. Yeah. But that's a Christian thing, you know. It's like whipping yourself. Oh, mea culpa, mea culpa. And you look a bit like Jesus, so maybe you inherited that. I'm joking.
Yeah, somehow I'm close to the guilt stories and these things.
Yeah, you know, all of us know it. All of us know it. I'll tell you. Jewish people don't have the monopoly on it. although it runs in that tribe, you could say. But yeah, everybody there. Yeah. It's just, you know, to really look at that mechanism. It's one thing, like if we use the example of standing on somebody's foot, no bad intention. Suddenly you stand on someone's foot, you see them, ow! Oh, sorry, you know, really. You know, why did you put your foot under my, or if, you know, we can blame them. You're stupid, you put your foot under there where I was going to step. Or we go, I'm sorry, you know, and I say the natural response usually would be just sorry. But then if you take it, like this was a question Ramana asked, when your teeth bite your tongue, who's to blame? Oh, okay.
Me, I'm
Me.
always guilty.
Yeah.
I should have been more careful.
Yeah. Well, you can see that's an interesting habit, eh? So, you know, to use that example, standing on someone's foot happens, and a sorry happens. And then if we feel guilty about it or start beating ourselves up about it, if that pattern kicks in, what's that useful for? We just feel bad in that pattern, yeah? Doesn't really bring anything. We can offer to massage the foot or kiss it or whatever, you know, if it's from her to happen from, but ultimately it was an accident, you know, there was no bad intention, it was just life. A foot being someplace where another foot landed. But it doesn't mean there's not a sorry. And for me, the sorry is pretty natural. At this moment, and how does this the guilt story feel in this just right now?
Not so real. It
Not so real. Fantastic.
appears not so real right now.
Yeah, great. Yeah. Ultimately, you know, if I have to speak really simply, what we're interested in is meeting the moment as love. So that, you know, like these old habits of guilt and blaming and shaming ourselves get in the way. But you know, so much depends on, I don't know how you perceive the home that you were raised in or in the environment that you're raised in. A lot of times, you know, there's a lot of projection of guilt and blame and shame. And again, you know, I'd say it's just ignorance. There's no bad intention. It's just probably how the caregivers were raised, and they pass it on until someone really inquires and stops that cycle.
Yeah, happened here. Yes.
So you can see it's not, you didn't ask for that. Somehow that's what happened. the system is now interested in coming out of that cycle, which is beautiful. Oh, man.
Thanks. Thanks a lot.
Satyam. And afterwards, Christina. But right now, Satyam.
Hi, Isaac.
Namaste.
Namaste, Isaac.
The life and adventures of an Indian troubadour.
Man, this is yeah, it's I think I just did a song which said I jumped out of my comfort zone and in thin air and didn't prepare that it would be like that. Was like a little child, just let's go and let's move back to India. And had no clue how it will be, and just was comfort zone, very comfort.
Yeah, it seemed like a good idea at the time, right?
Say again, Isaac.
It seemed like a good idea at the time.
My God, it was like a spell. It was almost like I was not doing it. Something was doing in me, and I had no choice to listen to anyone. I wouldn't listen to anyone. The whole Denmark was like a prison. The people were like on me, and the bus driver, the whole atmosphere. And here I am.
And you know, the truth is we never know what anything is good for.
Yeah.
So here you are.
Yeah.
And you can beat yourself up, and you can, you know, you've probably gotten pretty good at that already in your life. But
Yeah. You know, some images like yourself and Rama's images, those are, then I'm asking like questions like, what is really my deeper love affair? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Why am I indulging in this? And then of course the jump happens by inquiry that I really want to be in the heart. I'm just using these words now.
yeah, no problem.
Just to be the joy which I know in the deeper sense, this is what I am, and it doesn't really matter what happens on this. Basing basing myself on outer circumstances to make me happy, this is where it's coming at.
Yeah.
That
So you know,
and I
that's
feel
why.
it.
So we don't know what it's good for, and if it brings that, then it's, man, that's a incredible value. Yeah,
That's
so,
where it's coming to. That's what I like to. Of course, I'm also coming to stuff like there's no inherent meaning in anything really. Whatever we want to give, we give it. And I like to think that this huge, for me, it's huge. It's a huge movement. It has to wake me up to what is here.
yeah.
And this is what I'm praying to you and to all the sages which I have loved, which are in my heart. Because I know this isness, whatever this is, no effort. This is what is really my heart wants.
And then just watch the, you know, what comes up across the screen, the patterns, the old information.
Yeah.
And if possible, without taking it personally and without feeding them.
Yeah. This is a huge challenge at the moment
Yeah.
too, when the wave comes, and it's
So
almost
we can say it's a challenge, or we can say it's an opportunity.
yeah, okay, yeah, yeah. It's an opportunity to see what's real.
Yeah, yeah. If you
Mm.
make it a challenge, then you can fail it. But if you make it an opportunity, then okay, if you miss, you just come again. You miss, you come again. That's all. You know what the interest is.
Yeah, priority, like your words, like or sage words of sages in right now. It seems to be your words. Whatever arises, ask who's aware, and answer has to be I am.
I am. Yeah.
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 So this is,
And
and I can.
that's, and that is the love affair. That that inquiry, just to stay with that inquiry, even though it feels like a doing, and it's like, but it's like reversing generations of momentum.
Yeah.
That's it. So here we are. This is what it picked us up for. And you can say thank you for this opportunity.
No.
Yeah. Or we can say, oh man.
Yeah. Just wanted to ask how at this moment how you sensing my system? Is it too freaked out, or do I have a little light
Yeah.
somewhere?
Again, for me, you're here and there's an interest to inquire.
Yeah.
That's it. And man, that's a big luck, Satyam. And there's habits, of course, like in all of us, habits to be hard on yourself and
Yeah.
yeah. But again, it's like just seeing it again, making the distinction, the difference between a challenge and an opportunity. Yeah, I know what I'm here for. I'm here for this love affair.
Yeah.
Bring it on. Bring it on. Bring it on.
Yeah. And looking
It's,
at
it's like I to me, when I look at the design of life, it seems like whatever there's resistance to is going to be in our face. So
right.
it's a very good design for waking up. Of course, if you want an easy trip, then don't get interested in truth and love and peace. It's easier to stay sleeping.
Yeah. But I don't have that comfort, because I think, at least as I see it, just a little bit of it is I can't, somehow it feels I can't go back to what has seen.
Yeah.
It's not possible in at least in my case. I don't see it going to sleep. I can't do that.
Yeah.
So it's just,
Yeah. Bitch and moan a little bit every once in a while, and quiet.
yeah. Thank you, Isaac. Thanks for your presence.
Yeah, thanks. Christina. From Rishi, you've never said anything. Would you like to say hello? From Rishi? On the bottom left, there's a little red button. You click on it, then you're unmuted. Yeah, cool.
Okay. Hi. I didn't expect to talk, but
Yeah, I didn't expect to ask you, but then it happened.
okay. So nice to talk to you.
Yeah.
Mm, I thought before to talk to you, then I realized that I don't know what to talk about.
Yeah, doesn't have to be anything special. Just hello, yeah.
Also, I realized that I don't even know your story. How you get there?
How I got here?
Yeah.
How do you answer that? How do you get here? Well, I'll ask you differently. How do you get away from here? Show me how you get away from here. Don't be here.
I can. I cannot.
Yeah. Was that an Italian accent?
No, French.
French, okay.
Also, yeah, maybe that's why I wouldn't talk. It's because usually people have a hard time to understand me.
I know, I understand easy.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's fine. It seems you have a German community.
Some German, some Indian, some Australian, some Dutch, sometimes Americans. So one Swiss I know of, at least one Swiss.
And you're traveling the world.
I used to. That was in the good old days. Now I don't. Now I do travel a little bit. Though I plan to travel again. I go to Germany once for a retreat, and also to Western Australia for a retreat.
Mm.
But I used to travel 6 months of the year and be home 6 months.
And for work or for or just to see the world?
No, for meetings. It's just,
Mm.
you know, yeah, it is. You're in France?
Yeah,
Okay.
in the south of France. Yeah, and also the thing is, I've been abroad for 5 months in the Netherlands for my Erasmus. I don't know if you know about it. It's a students exchange.
Okay.
Yeah, and it really unlocked me the fact to be in a strange country.
Different culture, yeah.
Yeah, different. That's right. Different. It really helped me to see the life in another point of view,
Yeah.
and it helped me to do things that I like more than just studying. You know.
And where did you get the name? Where did you get the name Prem Rishi?
From Vishrant. I know you know him.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's also a subject. Like, I'm not sure what the purpose of the name. Like, because maybe you don't give name.
No, you know, I'm an old hippie. You'd get a really funny name from me.
So I don't understand the importance or not of the new name, you know?
Yeah, it's nonsense.
Yeah, I think so. And I think that's also the point, like to give something that don't have any sense and deal with it. And that's also something that you have to surrender to, you know? Maybe there is that. And I wanted to ask you,
It usually happens where someone thinks they're a master or something, and they think they're doing you a favor by giving you a name.
yeah, I'm not sure how it helped. And because also other teachers say they can see in the energy of people that the fact that they have two names, I mean, they have their born name and the name of the teacher, they are like split in their mind. They have different personality when they put their attention to the different names. So it can also be a trouble apparently. So yeah.
So look, if I ask you the question, are you your name?
My real name?
Are you your name?
No. Yeah, that's the point also of the new name, to not identify with the name, because usually when people ask you who are you, you say, "Oh, I'm your name," and the fact to have a new name, you say that name, but you feel that that's not you, and that's also the point, I think, to get you to the void of, no, I'm seeing that, but that's nothing. Nothing is we us. Mm.
So we can ask the question, "What's your name?" Or I can ask you, "What name do you use?"
Yeah.
A little bit different, What's your name? Means, okay, that's my name. And what name? What sounds do you use so that people can get your attention? Okay, that's a different question, yeah.
Mm. And uh, uh, I saw that you have I don't know how you call it in English. You have a oh, the thing around your neck.
A
Yeah,
necklace, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
necklace.
I have a few. I have a few necklaces. This one, and this one, and this one.
And so there is something about it.
I like necklaces.
How do you what's the story of this Swiss necklace?
Yeah, we can make stuff up, but the Vishant likes to pretend that he's enlightened and that he can help you to get enlightened too.
Mm. Yeah, he's playing a role of a master.
Yes.
But it's to help people, right?
It is to help him make money.
Oh.
He's made a lot of money from it. I mean, he's a very good con man.
Like Osho was?
Osho was different. Osho, yeah.
Oh, you met him?
Yes.
Okay.
When I met him, I went there. I saw him live. I waved at him when he drove past in his Rolls Royces.
But how are they different? Obviously, I know they are different, but about the con men stuff.
You know, anybody pretending to be that they're a master and you're not. I mean, that's an interesting game. You know, it's like, and that they can help you get there if you come to all their meetings and pay every time, all that stuff.
Yeah, that's funny that you talk about that, because I think we should never say how you have to attend all the meeting to get enlightened and stuff like that. But the people around him believe that. And
Oh
so
yeah,
that's
for a while he was telling people that.
oh, okay, okay. So maybe that's why. Because
Yeah,
you know, that's what I was thinking, like those last days, that he never tell me, oh, you took sannyas, you have to do the meetings. Never. He never say that. But then the disciple came to me and like, oh, you took sannyas and you don't go to all the meeting. Why you're here? And I'm like, you know, the sannyas is just something, but never it's right and never nowhere that you have to attend all the meeting. And but yeah, so I'm glad you talk about that. That's really you brought the subject. So, but from what I understand, you don't totally agree with the way of how Vishrant do his work.
it's not a question of agreeing or not agreeing. I just see what he's doing.
Mm. Mm. I can sense that, but I think yeah, it's just a way, you know. So if the way he's doing stuff bring a lot of people, if it's work, like it's just another way of helping people. I don't know.
You know, that's the thing. It's like, so how could you help me?
Me, you,
Yeah.
I cannot. I think, or maybe like we are having this conversation, and that's um uh helping people. I mean, people are listening, so they can have some insight from it.
So if help happens, who does it? If help happens, who does it? If I have an intention to help you,
Mm.
then I must think that you need help.
Yeah.
And if you have an idea you need help, and then I try to help you, I've reinforced that idea that you need help. So I
Yeah.
don't know if that helps you to reinforce that idea, but maybe some people think so.
Mm.
You know, like if you want to see the moon and you say to me, where's the moon? And I know where the moon is, and I point to it. Am I helping you, or I'm just telling you what I know? That's where it is. Have a look. See it for yourself, yeah? But if I want to help you, then I must think there's something, you need help. There's something wrong with you. Yeah? Or it's different in France.
So, yeah, help happen because we sense that someone need help. Hmm.
This moment, right now, which is the only moment there is. Do you need help?
No.
Yeah. Can we enjoy together without putting a whole story on it? Just simply here, enjoy. Is that possible?
Yeah.
You know, if someone comes to you and they tell you, look, I've got a bridge in New York that I can sell you. And it's a very nice bridge. If you get that bridge, you're going to be very happy. Are you interested to buy that bridge?
I mean, if it depends of the person. If he like, he really.
No, I'm asking. Yeah, I have a bridge in New York.
Okay.
For 1 million. For 1 million, I'll sell it to you.
I'm not interested because I don't have 1 million and I don't want to go to
Oh,
you.
you can pay me off over the next 30 years. Okay.
Yeah, no, still because I don't really care about
It's
New York.
it's the same thing with enlightenment. It's a bridge somewhere in New York. You know, it doesn't exist. It's a good sales job. So anyway, if you want it, I can sell you it. But anyway, I'm joking.
Yeah.
It's like you enjoy this humor.
Yeah, I like your style of doing those meetings. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Of just allowing the silence and allowing the talk, and just whatever happened. Mm.
Well, good. We've said hello now, and with if you'd like, you can sit with what we spoke or not. Doesn't matter. We'll see what happens.
Thank you. I appreciate the talk and that you came to
Yeah.
me for the talk. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank
Thanks, Rishi. Prem Rishi, yeah. Anybody else want a bridge? Evangelia, you want the bridge? Hi.
Hello,
Hi.
you're my bridge.
Bridge to where?
To me.
You. Yeah. Yeah. To me, it feels like just an invitation to rest and then to let what wants to reveal itself to you reveal itself.
I'm so happy to see you again.
It's good to see you too, Vanjali.
I'm enjoying your presence.
Mm.
It reminds me of this, I don't even know exactly how it is, but when you put like two clocks together and they click
Coming
different,
to yeah, exactly. It
and
is like that.
I'm enjoying myself.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, beautiful.
Thank you so much,
Mm.
Isaac.
Evangelia. Thank you. Bettina, I believe you're the host tonight. Yeah, thank you very much. And thank you, beloveds, for continuing this love affair. Love, peace, beauty,